this view. I do invite you to take a space of constructive rest if you decide to lie on your back. So in other words, bending your knees or bringing your arms out to the side or something that will just help you keep awareness in the body, especially if you literally just rolled out of the bed and onto your mat. So if you literally just rolled out of your bed and onto the mat and you still got the sleepies inside of you, and you want to still lay down, I definitely invite you to bend the knees or bring the arms out or rest the hands on the heart of the belly, just something that will just help you keep awareness in the body and not tempt you to fall back asleep. So I do have some soft music playing for the practice today. If it feels a little too loud or anything like that, just let me know in the chat box and I will adjust. At the same time, if you want to hear a little bit more of it, you might turn it up from your end. So whatever works for you. And y'all know how I move with the spirit, those who have practiced with me for a while. So I was only going to do one card reading at the end of class today, but I just woke up like, we're going to do two. So we're going to do one card reading to open the practice with, and then another card reading to end our practice with. And then just a reminder that this practice will be until 11:30 today, and that will include our breath work, our meditation, our movement, guided rest, the oracle card reading at the end. So I was going to plan it for an hour, but y'all know I'm always running over. So I just said, let me build this time honestly and make it an hour and a half. So with that, I'm going to take a sip of tea and then we will get started. And before I forget, I finally got connected with a vocal therapist here in Atlanta. And so I will finally start some treatments probably next month to get that going. So finally we'll get the whole vocal cord situation into the healing process. But the headphones have definitely been a game changer. So it forces me not to project my voice so loud. So all right, so let's go ahead and find that comfortable seat if you're not already there. If you are sitting on the ground with your legs crossed, just find a tall spine. You can also sit with the legs straight or the knees bent, whatever feels good to and for you. The palms can rest facing down on the thighs to create a sense of grounding, or face up if you are in a space of receiving. Maybe there's an intention or something you're just working with for this practice today, and you really want to be in that open space of receiving. You can also drape the wrists over the knees, palms facing down or palms facing up, whatever feels good. Maybe rest hands on the belly, hands on the heart, whatever speaks to you. Finding that tall spine. And again, if you are lying on your back, maybe just notice that you're not causing any pressure or compression in the back of the neck. And so that might feel like the chin is pointing up a little too high, creating that pressure in the back of the neck. So you might draw that chin down slightly towards the chest to feel alignment between the back of the head, the back of the neck, and the rest of the spine. Closing the eyes if that feels safe and comfortable for you. Finding a soft gaze if you prefer. And let's together welcome ourselves to this practice by taking a beautiful deep breath in. And slowly exhaling the air out through the mouth. Finding that again, deep breath in. Nice, slow, full exhale out through the mouth. One more time, taking a deep breath in. Exhale, nice, slow, full breath out through the mouth. Maybe very gently, just for a moment, placing your left hand over your heart. And maybe silently saying to yourself or out loud, welcome. It's good to be home. Right? They say home is where the heart is. So just feeling that connection to your heart space. Just noticing where your heart is today, giving it permission to feel what it feels. Maybe saying thank you for another day. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for community. Thank you for my body. Just pausing here. Just feeling your breath flow, inhaling nice and deep from the belly. Exhaling out through the mouth. And you can continue resting your hand on your heart if that feels good, or return the hands back to the thighs, or however you have them resting. Just taking a moment to notice that your shoulders are softening. So if they're sort of still up by the ears, you might gently drop the shoulders down. Lengthen your spine. Picturing an imaginary string at the top of your head. That string gently being pulled to help you find more length in your spine. Gently pressing the heart forward. If you have the eyes closed, just noticing that you're not squeezing the eyes shut, but just very gently have the lids closed over the eyes. Maybe notice how you're holding your jawline. Are you holding your lips together tightly? Are you clenching your teeth? Can you soften that? And just continue to stay connected with the inhales and the exhales as you begin to examine your body, just noticing where there may be a little tension, a little tightness, something that could use a little extra awareness, a little extra love, a little release. Maybe with every exhale, you just feel the body softening a little more. And maybe you begin to notice the mind. There's movement in the mind, or maybe you had a lot going on before you stepped onto the mat. Maybe there's a thought that's just kind of circling around. Just allow yourself to be the witness, to notice. Remembering we're not our thoughts, right? The thoughts is just the movement in the mind, and the mind is the space, right? It's like ether. Our mind is like ether. It's just this big, vast space, and just the thoughts come in and out, a reflection of the things we take in, a reflection of the things we listen to, a reflection of the things we've been holding on to, for so long in our lives. So just witness, try not to attach. Use your exhale to release any thought that isn't serving you. Use your exhale to release any tension or tightness you might be feeling in the mind. Breathing in, exhaling out. Maybe you begin to notice how your belly gently expands or pops out as you take that breath in. How the navel very gently draws back to the spine as you breathe out. And maybe you're continuing to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, or maybe you're choosing to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Taking a little bit more of that yogic style of breathing. But there is no right or wrong. It's just whatever feels good for you. Whatever feels good for you. Maybe placing your hands anywhere on your body that needs that extra love. So if it's the heart, if it's the knees, right? Maybe you're feeling tension in the knees. Maybe it's your womb space. Just listening, noticing. Being right here, right now. giving yourself permission to disconnect from anything that doesn't serve you in this moment. Right now, we are sitting together in this space, virtually, but together, right? We're all here having this shared experience. It's just after 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, if you're in East Coast time. Might be a little bit earlier if you're not on East Coast time. And we're here and we're breathing and we're feeling our body, and that's all that is happening right now. What does it feel like to be truly connected with the present? Maybe you're noticing birds singing or something that's actively happening in your environment right in this moment that's helping you stay connected to the present. Maybe tuning into the music. Maybe you have a diffuser going. Continue to find your breath. And so I'm gonna get ready to pull from the first card deck. And so you can continue to breathe, just settling in. This is a new deck that I got a couple of months ago, but I actually just opened it up this morning, but it really was just on my spirit to like pull from this. So it's called the African Tarot deck. And I like it because it's not, I know when people hear tarot, they can think, ooh, it can feel a little scary, which is sometimes why I avoid reading tarot cards in the class, because I don't want to turn anyone off. But the energy of these cards, I've had them pulled for me before, which is why I was drawn to the deck. But the energy of these cards, not so scary, you know, just a message. And I'm just really, really, really moving with spirit to pull, you know, to pull a card from this deck. So if the message resonates, beautiful, hold on to it. If not, you can always discard it. That's how it is just with this yoga practice in general. I'm always saying things and sharing messages, and maybe some of the stuff resonates and some of the stuff is like, yeah, okay, Rachel, that's cool, but I'm gonna just put that over there. So, you know, it's the same. Whatever serves you, hold on to, and whatever doesn't, let it go. So I've already shuffled the deck just for the sake of time. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the card. Ooh. And this card is called the High Priestess. And the book opened right up to that, so good. So the general meaning: you hold the power within you. You are a wise and powerful being with the ability to discern the answers. Tap into your intuition and allow the answer to be revealed. You have the instinct within you. The High Priestess guards sacred knowledge, so if someone has confided in you, keep it a secret. And the affirmation that goes along with this card is, I tap into my powerful intuition. So take a breath in. Exhale. And because I'm tapping into my intuition, somebody out there saying, please read this again. So I'm going to read it one more time. The High Priestess, general meaning: you hold the power within you. You are a wise and powerful being with the ability to discern the answers. Tap into your intuition and allow the answer to be revealed. You have the instincts within you. The High Priestess guards sacred knowledge, so if someone has confided in you, keep it a secret. Affirmation: I tap into my powerful intuition. So if nothing else, I invite you to hold on to that first line. You hold the power within you. And that's why I love, love, love this practice so much, because it reminds us of our power as we see our bodies moving and stretching and growing, and we see ourselves, you know, able to sit, you know, for 5 minutes in stillness. That creates the power within us, because we know once we come off this mat and we start to, you know, engage with life with all its ups and downs, right? That is where the power starts to reveal itself, like how we can sustain ourselves when things are tough, how we can be present with the joy, you know, when things are just going so well, you know. So you have the power within you. So whoever needs this message, and I know a few of you on there that are probably like, I needed that message, you know, let this be a reminder. And I'm so glad I followed my instinct, because I think we all probably needed to be reminded, myself included, reminded of the High Priestess within us. So And what a beautiful message at the still beginning of spring, right? The high priestess. So I will show that card at the end of class just so you can see it. And if I forget somebody, please lovingly remind me. Beautiful. So let's just take a few more moments with the breath to let that message resonate. Maybe you just want to say to yourself silently or out loud, I have the power within me. I have the power within me. So even if you're in a space right now that just feels heavy and cloudy and you feel like you have anything but the power, let this be a reminder that you have it within you. And so maybe you can't change right away the circumstances that are surrounding you, but you can change your response. You can change your mind to try and find some space of joy. So if it's not in the particular situation you're dealing with, can it be going outside and sitting in the sun for a few moments? Just some reminder, that joy still exists, even if there are clouds around. So many ways that we're reminded of our power, even if everything around us makes us feel powerless, You have the power to choose, which is that message behind Find Your Free, which is the message of the yoga mat. We can choose. We can choose how to move our bodies. We can choose to go deeper. We can choose to stay back. We can choose to hang out for another breath. We can choose to do a completely different posture than what the yoga instructor is providing because it's what feels good to us. And so remembering that I have the power within. Let's take 3 more breaths in this space, and then we're going to begin to very gently move our bodies because we have the power within. Inhale nice and deep. Exhale out through the mouth. Finding one more full deep breath in. And exhaling out. Beautiful. You might take a moment here to wiggle your fingers, your toes. You might gently turn your head from side to side, tilt your head up and down. And then when you feel ready, I invite you to very gently open the eyes. Usually when we start in like a seated, posture like this with meditation or breath work or anything, I like to kind of stay down. But again, just moving with the spirit this morning, we're going to gently move up to standing, do a few gentle exercises or movements while we're standing up, and then we'll bring it down to the mat so that we are down for the rest of the time. And so this practice will be about 40-ish minutes because I do want to leave time for that nice juicy Shavasana that I know we all love at the end, as well as time to pull the other card and read a passage from our favorite book, Journey to the Heart. So if you are sitting with your legs crossed, let's go ahead, maybe bring the hands behind you, lean back to take that pressure off the hips. Stretch the legs forward or bend the knees, rock the knees from side to side, give your hips a moment before you come to standing. And then taking your time, let's come to stand at the top of the mat. I'm just gonna just check the chat box super quick. I just wanna make sure. Okay, good. Right, everything looks okay. Beautiful. So we're gonna come to the top of the mat. Take a moment to shake out your legs again, whatever it is that you need to do. And then we're just going to come and stand, taking a few moments in mountain pose. Excuse me. So mountain pose, we can have the arms alongside the body, the palms face forward, the fingers spread. I always like to invite resting hands on belly or heart if that just speaks to you in your mountain pose. You might lift up all of your toes, let them down one by one, just allowing yourself to feel this grounding and connection with your mat, with yourself, with this community, with the universe around you. You bring into mind the picture of the mountain, right? Just powerful, strong, steady, So reminding yourself of that message, I have the power within. So while in mountain posture, we might feel like, okay, we're just standing here. What we're doing is reminding ourselves of our power, of our rootedness, of our connectedness. Take a deep breath in. Notice if you feel that belly expand. And as you exhale, gently draw that navel back to the spine, engaging those core muscles. So remember, we're not sucking the air in so that we can't breathe, but we're engaging the muscles. We're engaging that core area. And so when you exhale and draw that navel into the spine, see if you can keep that engagement there and then breathe from that space that supports you in these standing postures. Very gently squeeze the thighs, maybe picturing a ball or a yoga block between the thighs, and you're just trying to hold on to that. But soften your knees. And if you feel like you're locking your knees, take a very slight bend to them, but still squeeze the thighs. That imaginary string is still at the top of the head being pulled. Lengthening your spine, stand tall. Remember who you are. Take another deep breath in here. Exhale out. And if it feels good and you still have your eyes closed, you can continue to keep the eyes closed and just follow the verbal cues. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, shoulders soft, reach up through the fingertips. We're going to take a few rounds of forward folds and halfway lifts. Inhale, reach up through the fingertips. As you exhale, forward fold, coming down towards the toes, but being where you are. So soft bend to the knees. If your hamstrings are a little tight or the lower back is a little tight, you don't have to come down to the palms on the mat. You can come to fingertips. If you have yoga blocks, you can use your yoga blocks here. Pause, take another breath in here. Exhale out. Notice that you don't have the shoulders dumping by the ears, so keep those shoulders pressed back. Inhale, hands to shins or knees. Here's our flat back. Gaze comes forward, heart presses forward. Exhale, forward fold. And so we're going to try and keep it breath per movement. Inhale, slowly rise to standing. Feel that spine uncurl, arms sweep up. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins or knees. Gaze comes forward, flat back here. So if you have any rounding in your back, maybe notice if you have your hands down by your ankles, so something that might be causing rounding in your back. So if you're feeling that, bring the hands up to the knees, to the thighs, but finding that flat back. Breath in, exhale, forward fold. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, nice and easy, rise to standing. Keep those core muscles engaged. Draw that navel into the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Big, beautiful, deep breath in here. Reach up through those fingertips. Smile on your face. Exhale, forward fold. And if you don't feel like smiling, that's okay too. Pause here in this fold. Breath in. Exhale out. Inhale, hands to the shins or knees. Gaze comes forward, flat back. Breath in, exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, rising up to standing. Inhale, arms up. Reach up through those fingertips. Another deep breath in here, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, hands, shins or knees. Gaze comes forward, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Let's open up the feet just a little bit, not too wide. We're going to begin to take a twist here. If you are contraindicated for a twist, so in other words, if there's any belly issues that you have going on or pregnancy, anything that could be preventing you or just, not be good for a twist right now, you can stay right here and keep with the flat back or, continue doing your flat backs and your forward folds. Otherwise, let's take our right hand, place it in the center of the feet. With the inhale, sweep that left arm up, gentle twist here. Maybe you bring your gaze to the fingertips, maybe not. Now, if you can take a quick peek at the screen, if that's available to you, you'll notice I'm moving my shoulder towards my ear. So notice, if you can, how my arm is sort of flying back, and that's okay. If we were in class together, I'd adjust your arm. You want to try and have that arm nice and straight, as though it were creating sort of one straight line with the right arm as well. So from left fingertips to right. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale out. Inhale. With the exhale, left hand comes down in place of the right arm sweeps up. Your option with this twist as well is to rest your hand on your hip if it doesn't feel good to have the arm straight up. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Soft bend to the knees if you're locking the knees, but also maybe straighten the legs a little bit more. Start to feel a little more stretch, a little more work. 1 more breath in. Hold for the exhale. Another breath in, and with the exhale, let's bring that right hand down, soft bend to the knees. Inhale. Let's slowly rise to standing. When we rise to standing, we can let those shoulders roll up to the ears, and with the exhale, let the arms fall alongside the body. Good. You can stay at the top of your mat. I'm just turning to face the camera for our neck stretch, which I love. So we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up again. Take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Deep breath in. Pull that left arm, and as you exhale, gently pull that left arm to the right. So a nice opening side body stretch for the left side. Option here, step your left foot behind your right. Bend that right knee. That might feel like it's giving you leverage to go a little bit deeper. Another option, bend the elbows as you take a breath in. Straighten the arms as you exhale. And you can kind of do that in little micro movements, like inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and see if that just allows you to find a little bit more. Keep those core muscles engaged. Relax the toes, relax the face. Try not to let that right ear dump onto the right shoulder. And we're trying not to hug left ear with the left arm. 1 more breath in. Exhale out. Good. If you have that left foot behind, step that left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, arms come through center. You can release. Check out the arms for a moment. Sometimes that can make the blood flow or make the arms feel like they're falling asleep. Good. And then let's inhale, bring those arms back up. This time we're taking a hold of the right wrist. Inhale as you gently pull the arm up. Exhale, pull that arm to the left. And then this time, if you want to add a little bit more, we would step right foot behind the left, soft bend to that left knee. Can add those micro movements, bend the elbows. Exhale to pull. Oh man. So if it helps you in your mind's eye, maybe envision somebody very gently pulling those right fingers, like they're standing to the left of you. You can picture me standing to the left of you, taking those right fingers and pulling them to me just a little bit more. So we open up this side body. This is also a really nice way to open up the back. So sometimes the tightness we might be feeling in the back is actually coming from tightness in the sides of the body, as opposed to the back in particular. 1 more breath in. Exhale out. Inhale, arms come back to center. We step that right foot up to meet the left. Let's gently release the arms, bring the hands behind the back. Now, yogi's choice. You can interlace your fingers here. We're going to build into a shoulder opener. But if you have any shoulder injuries you need to be mindful of, or your shoulders are just super tight, you can grab opposite elbows or opposite wrists instead of interlacing fingers. So whatever feels good in your body, but what also lovingly challenges you just to get into those shoulders a little bit more. So it's that fine line between not pushing yourself in terms of physical injury or any current physical limitations, and then just like, I don't feel like doing it. So, there's that fine line. So we want to push ourselves when we don't feel like doing something sometimes, and we want to come back so that we're not going too hard if there's something physical going on. So fingers behind the back, interlace. Let's take a deep breath in, press the shoulders back, press the heart forward. As you exhale, begin to lift those hands away from the lower back. So as though I were behind you, lifting your arms, Now, inevitably, somebody in one of those squares is squinting their eyes and gritting their teeth and saying, these damn shoulders of mine. Let's soften that, breathe, relax, and say, hello, shoulders. Good morning. Thank you for carrying all of my burdens, all of my worries. But today we're going to let them go. If you want a little bit more, soft bend to the knees, breathe in, exhale, forward fold. Options, options, options. Be where you are. If you take that fold, keep the core muscles engaged, navel drawn into the spine. This is going to help support your balance. 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more full deep breath in. Exhale out. And if you're in that fold, keep that soft bend to the knees. Inhale, coming back up to standing. Arms come back down to the lower back. We can release the hands, shake out whatever you need to shake out. Good morning. Hello. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Good. So now I'm going to invite you to turn and face the long side of the mat. This is a little different from me. We're going to prepare to move through triangle pose. And usually in a practice, I say triangle more towards the middle of a practice or when we're nice and heated up, but it's okay. We've done some stretching, we've done some warming up of the body. And I just want to keep consistent with like, while we're up, and then we go down, we're down. So not a whole lot of up and down. I do try to avoid that in a gentle yoga practice. But when I get back to vinyasa, all right. So let's go ahead and bring our arms out to the side like a T. And then we're going to step our feet wide. Right now, maybe try and line up your ankles with your wrists. The triangle is a funny posture because warrior 2, right? I'll set up like this for warrior 2, and you want that longer distance between the legs, but sometimes triangle can really stretch that inner groin muscle, it stretches the hamstring. And so if it feels like it's too deep of a stretch, once we move into the posture with the legs wide, just walk your feet in a little bit to the place where it feels accessible, but like you're getting a little work. So the arms are out to the side, and let's go ahead and turn the left toes to face the top of the mat. The top of the mat, the short end, the right toes are facing that long end. Good. We're going to bring that gaze towards our left hand, shoulders soft. Take a deep breath in, gently pull that right hip back. So as though I was standing on your right side, pulling your right hip to me. And as you exhale, let's begin to tip forward. Left hand is going to come to ankle, shin, thigh, block. Be where you are. And just as we experienced in that twist, if you can see me, might just notice if your arm feels like it's kind of flying back or behind you, draw that shoulder, not to your ear so it's hunched, but so that as best as you can sort of feel and notice alignment between the shoulders. So again, in this case, right fingertips all the way down to left fingertips would be a straight line. Now I'm standing behind you, my right hand or my hand is on the top of your right hip. I'm pulling that hip back to me so that you're spinning, opening up your chest, your heart to the ceiling a little bit more. If it feels good, bring your gaze to the right fingertips. Good. Another option here, if you want to play around, tuck that right hand behind you into the left hip. You can reach that left arm forward. Sometimes folks like to play around with their triangle that way. So whatever feels good, keep that heart open. As we turn the heart towards the ceiling, that's where we're feeling that twist. Again, be mindful if there's any contraindications, take this nice and gently. Good, 2 more breaths, inhale. Exhale. Good, 1 more deep breath in. Exhale. Good. Inhale, let's come back up, arms to the side like a T. Turn those left toes now to face the long side of the mat. And now we're going to turn our right toes forward to face the short end. Gaze comes over those right fingertips. We're gently pulling that left hip back as we take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach forward with those right fingertips. And remember, be where you are. So start where you are in your body and then deepen from there. So you don't have to go into a perfect, I don't believe in perfect when it comes to yoga. The only thing that should be perfect is coming to your practice, right? But in the postures, right? Just everybody's body is different. So it's really about trying to find the best alignment and where the posture feels good for you. So don't force yourself into a full on triangle, like my hand is all the way down on the ankle or the floor. Just be where you are. And then when you're here, use your breath to help you get a little bit more. My hand is on the top of your left hip, pulling that hip back. As you pull that hip back, the heart spins up towards the ceiling. Good. Left shoulder coming towards the head so you can try and find that alignment. Engage those core muscles, breathe. And then you can take that option again, tucking your left hand now into the right hip, reach that right arm forward. So just different ways to play around with your practice. 2 more breaths, inhale. Exhale. 1 more deep breath in. And exhale out. Good. This time, let's bring the left hand to the hip. Slide that right hand up to the hip. Inhale, come to standing. And just a little bit more while we're here. We're going to turn those right toes now to face the long side of the mat. Yogi's choice. You can keep your hands on your hips. You can come back into that shoulder opener that we did, interlacing your fingers. If reverse prayer hands is available to you, you can take that. What we are doing is preparing for a wide-legged forward fold. So find this posture in a way that feels good to you. So I'm going to start with hands on the waist. If you have hands on the waist, draw those elbows back so that you're opening the heart. Good. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, fold first halfway, flat back. Take a moment to check in. Can you open the feet wider? Do you need to bring the feet in more? Is this where you are in the posture, right? So you can stay here and be right here, or take another breath in, and with the exhale, you can bring the hands to the mat if that's available to you. You can keep hands at the waist. You can take that shoulder opener. You can use your block. If it's available to you, you can turn your block on the tallest side, rest your head on the block. So just whatever feels good. And let's pause here. 3 deep breaths. Squeeze your thighs. Just letting everything go. You want to add that twist like we did from the forward fold with one hand between the feet and raising the other hand. So right now I have my right hand and now I'm switching to my left. It's actually one of my favorite twists, a twist from the wide-legged fold. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. You can also hold on to your ankles, the backs of your shins, or the backs of your calves rather, which I guess are the backs of your shins. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale out. Beautiful. All right, yogis, we're going to play a little something. If it is available to you to bring those hands down to the mat and bend your knees, we're going to walk our hands to the top of the mat. So walk your hands towards your left foot, spin your left foot forward, right foot is behind. And if you just kind of have to just walk yourself into this position, honor your body. Now from here, yogi's choice, left foot is forward, right foot is behind. Yogi's choice, you can take a sun salutation if you want, moving through your plank, chaturanga. You can step right back into down dog, which is where I'm gonna go, or you can come into hands and knees. So go wherever it feels good for you. If you're straight in down dog or hands and knees, let's pause for 5 breaths just to give those who might have chosen the sun salute to meet us where we are. So if you're in down dog, hands are shoulder length apart. The feet can be hip width apart or slightly touching, whatever feels good. If you're in hands and knees, again, the hands are shoulder length apart, and hands and knees, shoulders are in line with the wrists. In downward facing dog, the wrists are slightly in front of the shoulders. So in downward dog, remember we're finding the shape of an upside down V. If you're in hands and knees, pause there again at tabletop, just breathing. Good. And if we're in down dog or hands and knees, let's pause here. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more full deep breath in. Exhale out. And then from down dog, if we're not already there, let's come on down. So we're all in hands and knees. Yogi's choice to rest on the tops of your feet or to have your toes curled under. Again, from tabletop, we want to have those shoulders lined up with the wrist. So if your shoulders are way in front of your wrist, as much as you can, try to line the shoulders up. Options are to place some cushioning under your knees. We are going to be doing some work from the knees for a while. So if you want to bring some cushioning under your knees or fold up your mat in the middle to give you that extra support. Same thing for the wrists. Other options for your wrist, if you're working through any injuries, come to your fists or come down to your forearms. Good. Let's take a few rounds of cow and cat. Y'all know I wouldn't be me leading a class if we didn't have cat and cow. And we're going to begin by inhaling, pressing the heart forward, dropping the belly, maybe lifting the gaze, coming out of those shoulders. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine. Draw that navel into the spine. And let's find this a few more times, moving at a pace that feels good for you. Inhale, heart presses forward. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Breath per movement here. Every exhale, a release of what doesn't serve you. A release of anything you're working to let go of. A release of maybe something you want to breathe into the universe, right? Every exhale creates space for us to receive on the inhale. And let's do 3 more rounds. Press the mat away from you gently with the palms. Good. Exhale, round the spine. Good. Beautiful. Coming back to a neutral tabletop, gaze at the top of the mat. We're going to work through a little thread the needle here. Inhaling, sweeping right arm up. Maybe you bring your gaze to the fingertips if that feels good. And then with the right palm facing up, we're going to slide that right arm all the way under the left to come rest on the right shoulder, the right temple, maybe the right side of the face. If you need any support for the head and the neck here, you might place a pillow under your head. Left arm can extend straight forward if that feels good, or keep your left wrist aligned with your left shoulder, bending the elbow, drawing that elbow into the body, or take your left hand across the lower back, tucking it into the right hip, or simply resting it on the lower back. So this is a nice massage for that right shoulder joint. And just notice that you're resting on that right side in a way that feels good for you. So y'all know I always say adjust and readjust until it feels just right. 2 more breaths here. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. Beautiful. If you have that left hand resting in the right hip or that left arm extended forward, pull that left hand back into the side of the body, the left side of the body, so you can press yourself up gently. Maybe sweep that right arm back up. Maybe give it a gaze if that feels good, and then rest your right hand down. And let's find this on the other side. Left arm sweeps up, maybe give it a gaze. With the palm facing up, slide that left arm all the way under the right, so you are coming to rest on your left temple, left side of the face. Again, use a pillow to support the head and neck if that's needed. Right arm extends forward or stays tucked into the side of the body or comes across the lower back. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Two more breaths here. I love thread the needle. Good. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale out. Beautiful. And then wherever that right hand is, draw it back into the right side of the body, so you can press yourself up. Left arm sweeps up. Maybe we give it a gaze if that feels good. And then we bring the left hand back down. Good. All right, so we are going to do some very gentle core work for our very gentle morning yoga practice, but we're going to give our wrists a break. So if you're not already there, I invite you to come to your forearms and press your palms together as though you were taking prayer hands. Good, so we're going to press those palms together. Try not to have your elbows open too wide, so like you're dumping in your shoulders. You also don't want to have them too close, maybe like a small V. Really anchor down through your forearms. Let's uncurl your left toes so you're resting on the top of the left foot. Raise that right leg, point those right toes back, squeeze the thighs. So what we're going to do is 5 knee curls and 5 leg presses for a total of 10. When I was going through this practice, I was going to have us do 10 leg curls, but then I said, no, this is supposed to be gentle. So we'll do 5 and 5 for a total of 10. So press down through the forearms, inhale, press back through those right toes. Exhale, draw knee into the chest. Inhale, extend. And if it feels better for you to have just be on your palms from like hands and knees, go ahead and take that. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, lift, press those toes away. Exhale, draw the knee in. 2 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale, draw that knee in. Inhale to lift. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale to lift, point, and just pulse for a count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I had to make sure I pulse there. Breath in. Exhale, draw the knee in, come to rest. Good. So just a nice way to activate the thighs and the glutes. You are always welcome to do more if you want to. Yogi's choice. Press down through those forearms, press those palms together. Inhale, left leg extends back, point through the toes. Breath in. Exhale, draw the knee. Inhale to lift, point through the toes. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale to lift. Exhale, draw the knee in. 2 more, yogis. Inhale to lift. Exhale, draw the knee in. Last one. Inhale to lift. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale to lift. Take a breath in. Exhale, pulse for 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breath in. Exhale, bring that knee in. Good. Let's slowly work our way back up to tabletop posture. And here is where we're going to come do a little more work for the knees. So please, again, grab whatever pillow, cushioning, whatever you need to support your knees. I'm going to invite you to turn to face the long end of the mat. Hands are to the waist. For now, you can tuck the toes under if that feels good, or have the toes uncurled so you're resting on the tops of the feet on the mat. Let's take 2 fists, place them between the knees, hug those knees around the fist so you get a nice hip width apart distance. And what we're going to do here is a very modified version of camel pose. Now, if when you bring your head back, which is something I struggle with benign vertigo from time to time. So in other words, my head comes back, I can sometimes get that really vertigo-ish dizzy feeling. So if bringing your head back doesn't feel good, you can keep your head more neutral, maybe just gently lift the chin and press the heart forward. Otherwise, if it feels good, let the head come back as camel pose invites. So we're going to bring those hands back to the waist, draw the elbows in, breath in, press the heart forward, press the shoulders back. Now, as you exhale, very gently push your hips forward, drawing those elbows in, and then let your head come back. Not so that you're just dumping the back of the head on the upper back, but opening up the chin, opening up the throat. And again, if it feels better to keep the gaze at neutral or slight lift at the chin, slight lift of the chin, honor your body. Otherwise, gently opening the throat, pressing the heart forward, drawing the elbows in, squeeze your thighs. Beautiful heart opening posture here. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale out. Beautiful. With the inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly Bring the gaze back to neutral. I promise y'all there is a child's pose coming soon. We're just going to explore a little bit more. Take a child's pose, and then that child's pose is going to link us to coming down towards Shavasana. So all roads always lead to Shavasana, but we're a little bit closer in our journey from here. All right, lovelies, let's go ahead and extend that right leg out. And if you're able to turn with that right leg extended, the right toes to face the top of the mat, great. Otherwise, if you have to have the toes at an angle where this feels accessible to you, go ahead and find that. But you still want to just make sure you're nice and straight. And as much as you can, that left hip is aligned with like left shoulder. So you're not just kind of like all over the place, but nice and aligned. Good. We're going to keep our right hand on the hip. Inhale, sweep that left arm up. Exhale, start to reach that left hand over to the right. And now if you need to keep yourself supported with right hand on the hip, you can do that. Otherwise, you might start to slide that right hand down the side of the right leg. And as you slide that right leg down, the left arm might be able to reach over a little bit more. So this is called our gate pose. Beautiful. Anchor down through those right toes, particularly your big right toe to keep you anchored. Beautiful. What gates have been closed in your life that need to be open, like the gateway to your heart? And what has been open that is time to close? Because folks have just had too much access. Good. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale out. Beautiful. Sliding that right hand back up to the hip if it's not already there. Left hand comes down. Walk that right knee back in. And then let's find that on the other side. Left leg extends out. Toes point forward, maybe at a slight angle. Good. I'm just looking at my alignment here in the camera. Beautiful. Inhale, right arm sweeps up. And as we exhale, reach over to that left side, keeping left hand on the hip or sliding your left hand down the side of your left leg. Good. 3 more breaths. Inhale, breathe into that right side of the body. Exhale and reach. Yummy, yummy, yummy. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. Left hand comes back up to the hip if it's not already there. Right hand comes to the hip. Bring that left knee in. And then, lovelies, if it's available to you, we're just going to turn to face back to the top of the mat or come to hands and knees. However, you need to face the top of the mat. Good. We're just going to do a gentle lunge. So a 90-90 lunge. I used to love offering this when we did those gentle Wednesday morning classes. So it's a nice way to access the hip opening of a lunge, but without the depth of of the low lunge, which is like a little bit deeper. So we're going to step that left foot forward. Right toes can stay uncurled, or you can curl the toes under if that supports you. Left knee in line with ankle. Thigh is nice and strong. And you just want to notice if that left knee is flying out to the left side of the mat. If you feel that, draw that left knee into the midline, anchor down through the pad of that big left toe, and you can stay just like this with the hands on the hips. Maybe draw those elbows in. You can sweep the arms up. If you want to add a little something, you can take goddess arms, elbows in line with the shoulders. Concentrate your gaze on a spot that isn't moving. We call that your drishti in a yoga practice. This helps to steady the mind. Core muscles engaged, nice and easy. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, draw that navel into the spine. Keep breathing, keep smiling. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. And from wherever you are, nice and easy, let's frame our left foot with our hands. Step that left knee back. On the inhale, step the right foot forward. And so we just want to notice the same. Our right knee in line with the ankle. Again, left toes can be curled under or top of the left foot on the mat. And if you feel like that right knee is flying out to the right side, draw that knee into the midline. Spine is nice and tall. Hands can stay on waist. You can sweep the arms up. You can take those goddess arms. You can take that shoulder opener too. That feels good. Anchor down through the pad of the big right toe. Steady your gaze. Relax your face and breathe. Soften your shoulders if you have the arms raised. Beautiful, lovelies. One more deep breath in here. Exhale out. Nice and easy. Frame that right foot with the hands, and you guessed it, here we are, finally moving into child's pose. Yogi's choice to keep the knees in together to touch. Press your bum back to your heels and extend the arms forward, or the version of child's pose where we bring the big toes into touch. Knees come out the width of the mat, press the bum back. Remember, you can extend the arms forward, rest the forehead on the mat. You can fold up one or both of your arms to give your head some support, or if you have that pillow or cushion, rest your head on the pillow or cushion. You can also tuck that cushion between the bum and the heels for some extra restorative love, or tuck it under the tops of your feet. So whatever helps to make this posture more accessible. And as you rest here, I'm going to take a quick sip of my tea. And so let's give this 5 beautiful breaths while we're here. Inhale, feel the expansion of the belly. Exhale, draw the navel into the spine. Every exhale be a release, be a surrender. Is there some current that you're fighting against in your life? Is there something that you're holding on tightly to because you don't want to let go, right? You don't want to experience that pain of what comes with letting go. But if you're finding yourself in that situation, maybe ask yourself, what suffering are you inviting by not letting go, right? So sometimes the pain of holding on is actually more difficult, more challenging than the pain you think you're going to experience by letting go. And that was a lesson I truly learned when we had to put our dog down a couple of weeks ago. She was not right. She was so not right, but, she was like still eating and she still could walk around, but, just her cognitive was just she just had so many like cognitive dysfunctions going on. But we just didn't want to let her go. And then just one day, I just looked at her the day that it was like, okay, it's time. I just looked at her and I felt like she just gave me this look like, I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, I'll keep doing this as long as you like have me doing this, but like, I'm tired. And that's when I really had to ask myself, like, what is it that I don't want to let go of? Of course, I love her. And, I didn't want to let go of her presence, but I had to really ask myself, like, what is it that I'm holding on to? And I just didn't want to experience the pain, that would come with letting her go. But there was so much more suffering being caused, by trying to keep her in the body, suffering for her, suffering for us, because we were just prolonging. And so it still hurts, but it's, I've been able to find a little more peace with it than, I thought I would. So where in your life are you sort of doing that dance, right? Of not wanting to let go, but keeping yourself in a space of suffering. And I invite that here because child's pose is that ultimate posture of surrender, of release. I know y'all don't mind when I get to talking when y'all are in child's pose. It's like, oh yeah, I can hang out here for a long time. But if we were in chair pose and I did all that talking, y'all be like, okay, now wrap it up. Life lesson received. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more full deep breath in. And exhale the air out. All right, my loves, taking your time from child's pose. If you have the arms extended forward, you might walk the hands into the body just so you can press yourself up just a little bit. And then here we are, we're going to get ready to come onto our backs. Take your time, letting yourself arrive. When we come onto the back, we're going to come with our knees bent. Place a pillow or cushion under your head if you need that extra support. And just as I invited or offered at the beginning of the session, just notice if your chin is pointing up kind of high to the ceiling and you're feeling pressure in the back of the neck, draw that chin down slightly to the chest, feel the shoulders drop. And let's walk the feet out to the edges of the mat. And just pause here. Take a breath in. Exhale out. Take a breath in, and with the next exhale, let those knees drop all the way to the left. And keep the head at neutral, or turn the head to the right slightly if you want to make this a little bit more of a twist. This feels so yummy. It's so simple, but so yummy. Good. Inhale the knees up. If you have the head to the right, bring that head to center. And as you exhale, drop the knees to the right. And you can turn your head to the left or keep your head at neutral. Very gentle stretch for the outer hips. Another breath in. Exhale out. Good. Inhale those knees back to center. Let's walk the feet back in about hip width apart or even closer, because now we're going to go ahead and hug the knees into the chest. You can hold onto the knees, the shins, the backs of the thighs. And you can stay here if that feels good. If you want to hold onto the knees, open up the knees outside of the hips, taking a very modified version of happy baby, or a more advanced version of hugging the knees in, right? It's how you look at it. If you want to move into full happy baby, the arms come inside of the legs and we're grabbing either the outsides of the feet, the ankles. You can hook onto your big toes with your peace fingers. You can continue to hold on to the backs of your thighs. Here, the knees are bent outside of the hips. And with our next exhale, if we're in this posture, we're going to press those knees in towards the armpits. So maybe happy baby, maybe hugging your knees in, maybe knees into the chest with the knees open outside of the hips, but not full on happy baby. And if you're in happy baby, or actually if you're hugging the knees, either way, you can rock from side to side if that feels good. You can just stay more neutral. Shoulders soft. Gentle opening of the hips here if you're taking that happy baby. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. And if you're in that happy baby or you have the knees open outside of the hips, I invite you to hug the knees back in. Nice little massage for the hips here. 2 more breaths. Good. Then let's rest the soles of the feet to the mat. Good. And then we're going to bring just the left knee into the chest, interlacing fingers behind that left thigh. Inhale to extend that leg to the ceiling. And as you exhale, press up through the sole of the foot. Draw those left toes into the body. Shoulders soft. You can take a moment to point and flex the toes. You can circle around the ankle. If you get a little snap, crackle, pop in that ankle. And then when you're ready to be in the posture, I invite you to return with the toes flexed, drawn into the body, pressing up through the sole of the left foot. And if your left leg is completely shaken and bobbing and doing all of the things like mine is, that is just because we are opening up this left hamstring, giving it a little bit of work. So the shaking is good. The shaking is good. Notice how you're responding in your face, in your jawline. Soften, soften, soften. 2 more breaths here. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. And now we're going to take this left leg, create a figure 4, crossing that left leg just over the right ankle to prepare for reclined pigeon. I'm just going to let somebody in who popped into the class. Oh, it looks like Brittany might have got kicked out. Good. So we're creating that figure 4 with the left ankle crossed just over the right. So preparing for reclined pigeon. So if you know where you are in this posture, you can go ahead and go there. Otherwise, if you want to just take a moment to kind of figure out where you are, You can stay here, figure 4, take that left hand on the inside of the left thigh, gently press that left thigh forward so that you're making sort of a parallel line or a parallel between the left shin and the top of the mat, that short end of the mat. You can stay here. You can raise that right leg, bending the right knee, interlacing fingers behind the right thigh, flexing both sets of toes, or you can extend that right leg to the ceiling. One other option is to interlace fingers in front of the right shin and sort of take a thread the needle reclined pigeon. So if that feels good. So be where you are. Let's pause here, 5 breaths. Shoulders soft, face relaxed. Notice what that back of the head is doing. So notice if you're tilting that head back, pointing that chin up. Try and keep that alignment. 2 more breaths. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. All right, couple of options here. If you have the right leg extended straight up and it's available to you, you can simply bring that left foot down to the mat and keep working with that right leg. Otherwise, straightening that right leg. Otherwise, bring the right foot down to the mat, uncross that left leg, and then re-extend the right leg to the ceiling. Draw those toes in, and then take a moment to circle around the ankle point and flex the toes, whatever feels good. Anchor down through the sole of that left foot. Again, if you're noticing the bobbing, the jumping, the shaking, you are opening up this right leg. Two more breaths here. Good. And then nice and easy, we're going to create that figure 4 now. Right ankle hangs just off the left thigh. We can take our right hand, open palm on the inside of the right thigh, press that right thigh forward. And if this is where you are, stay right here. Some days, this is all I have for reclined pigeon, just working with the figure 4. Otherwise, you can raise that left foot, bend the left knee, take the right hand, create it with the hole, take the right hand through the hole created by the legs, that's what I was trying to say, and interlace behind the left thigh. You keep that left knee bent or straighten the right leg, or take that thread the needle version where you interlace fingers in front of the left shin. Flex the toes. Now, if you are in a version with the leg extended up or the left knee is bent, you might use your right elbow to try and nudge that right thigh forward, or just feel yourself press that knee towards the front of the mat, creating that parallel with the top of the mat. Nice opening for the hips, hamstrings. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale out. And then from here, however you can get there, I invite you to hug the knees back into the chest, keeping the knees closed. Wrapping arms around shins or knees, or maybe backs of thighs. Maybe gently rock from side to side. There is one more posture between you and Shavasana. I'm going to take one more heart opener. Setu Bandhu Sarvangasana, which is Sanskrit for bridge pose. Beautiful. Nice and easy. Let's rest the soles of the feet down to the mat. Open up the feet just about hip width apart, so not too wide. Arms alongside the body, the palms facing down. Let's walk those heels into the body so you can tickle or raise your heels with your fingertips. Again, I don't mean to be a stickler for this, but because bridge pose can cause a little pressure on the back of the body, you do want to notice that you're not starting with that compression in the back of the neck. So a little bit of a stickler, but I've had enough back injuries to just make me be super mindful of that. Good. Let's take a breath in and out. The inhale, press down through the soles of the feet. Begin to lift those hips away from the mat and towards the ceiling. Imagining you have a beach ball between your thighs. If you just happen to have a beach ball nearby and you want to place that between the thighs, you are more than welcome. You could also use a yoga block. Good. And we're just going to lift the hips, squeeze the thighs. If it speaks to you, you can interlace the fingers, drawing the shoulder blades in, using this as leverage to lift a little bit more. The arms would stay grounded onto the mat, but you draw those shoulder blades in, interlace the fingers. You can also wrap your hands around your ankles. Lift those hips a little bit higher, squeeze the thighs, relax the face. 3 more breaths. I know as women, sometimes it feels like all our stuff just comes sliding back to our face and our throat. That's okay. Love yourself. Love yourself. Because I see that sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, why is all this stuff sliding? And then it's like, you know what? That's okay. It's there. So just move around as it needs to. Take 1 more deep breath in. Exhale out. Another deep breath in. Slightly lift those hips. And then as you exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly lower down from top of the spine to base of the spine. My goodness, I love coming out of bridge pose. It feels so good. And then once that spine completely reconnects with the mat, just allow yourself to be here for a few breaths. You want to let the spine have a moment to reset itself. You might gently begin to rock the knees from side to side if that feels good. Very gently. Very gently. And you can continue to stay like this, or you can hug the knees into the chest. Continue to be where you are. I am going to begin to sit up and guide you through your Shavasana. Take another breath or two here. And then when you're ready, taking a big, beautiful, deep breath in. With your exhale, extend 1 or both of your legs forward at the same time. Bringing your feet into a small V, or maybe opening up the feet wide, opening the arms wide. It might feel good to take like a full-on starfish-like pose. It might feel better to have the hands on the belly, the heart, the womb space. Maybe it's nice to have the arms alongside the body. In traditional Shavasana, the palms face up, but I always like to offer facing or flipping the palms down. If that just feels like it grounds you a little bit more and feels safer. Rest the back of your head on a pillow. If you're not already there, you can place an eye pillow over the eyes. Relax your jawline, unclench your teeth, close the eyes if that feels good. Or find a soft gaze if you prefer. Return to being the witness. Noticing the breath in and the breath out. Anchor your mind to your breath. You can picture your mind like water, and the thoughts are just the waves rising and falling, rising and falling. Or maybe picture your mind as the sky, and our thoughts are just the clouds moving in and out. Although that movement in the mind is an extension of us, what we are is the stillness. And sometimes we forget that. We forget that we're the stillness. And we think that we're all these thoughts and all these things that move through the mind, and we start to identify with all of that and feel fragmented. No, we are the stillness. And that's why this posture of Shavasana is so important and so beautiful, because it integrates all of that into the space of stillness to remind us who we are, what we are. As you settle into your rest here, I'll share a passage from Melody Beattie's Journey to the Heart, Daily Meditations on the Path to Freeing Your Soul. And this passage is from today, March 26th, and it's called Make Each Moment Count. A picture isn't taken in a moment, stated the brochure for the Cottonwood, Colorado hotel. It's taken of a moment. It took me a long time to learn that important truth. I spent years trying to get my life together and keep it together, as though it were a solid chunk that could be arranged in a certain place, then made to stay there. It took me a long time to learn about moments. In many ways, our lives are like a movie reel, made up of individual frames and single moments, each one leading into the next. It is a waste of energy to try and hold on to the moments of the past. By the time we begin reaching for them, they're gone. It is just as poor timing to try to jump into moments that have not arrived yet, the future. Stay in the present moment, the frame you're in now. That's the only moment where happiness, joy, and love can be found. And remember to make each moment count. This song is an honoring to the goddess Saraswati, and Saraswati is the Hindu goddess of creation, of arts, of expression. And so if you are feeling blocked in creativity, if you're feeling just not expressive, if you're just feeling like you're missing like that colorful expression in your life, you might rest your hands on your womb or your sacral chakra. So for any of my fellows who might be in the class, you can just rest your hand on the area of the beneath the belly, or beneath the belly button rather. And for the women, you might rest your hands on that womb space, which is our center for creativity, for birthing, not just life, but expression, art, dreams. And for the men, sacral chakra represents the same. Well, sacral chakra represents that for all of us, but for women, we have this center we can really, really tap into, that womb space, our second heart. And as you rest, I will pull the second oracle card for today. And this is from the Kuan Yin oracle card deck. Kuan Yin is the goddess of compassion, which I love. I love all the goddesses. And I believe it was New Year's. So if you were able to join that New Year's session we held on New Year's Eve, I pulled from this card deck. It's really, really, really powerful. And so I've already shuffled. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull that card so you can continue to be in the space of rest, of receiving. And remember, if any of the messaging of the words don't apply, just discard it and keep what serves you. And so this card, the number is 7 for anyone who resonates with numbers. 7 is my life path number. And the card itself is called Drink from the Emerald Fountain. So the messaging can be a little long, so I'm just gonna read from the book that supports the message. The divine feminine is encouraging of the awakening and empowerment of all living beings. When a sincere seeker is trying to find the way through, there is much help sent. It makes sense to be open to receive it, indeed to step forward and drink from the emerald fountain, which is the unconditionally loving heart chakra of Kuan Yin. Allow yourself to be nourished by the power and love of the Divine Mother flowing to you now. There's nothing to be gained in making life more difficult than it needs to be, other than unnecessary stress or perhaps the learning that it isn't as much fun this way. At this time, you are going through a time of important spiritual growth. Your higher self has set a spiritual schedule and is planning on being at a certain destination in time and space to set events in motion, to benefit from synchronicities, and to be able to live out its divine purpose in the physical world too. The soul is very resourceful and is calling for divine help in getting to its destination on time. When you allow yourself to be helped, great reserves of support become available to you. Your soul is strengthened and nourished by the loving heart of the Divine Mother. As it is filled with love from the Emerald Fountain, it can flow through you and you feel happier, more balanced, content, and peaceful. The more you allow yourself to be assisted, the more you will feel detached and trusting. You will find fewer problems actually arise for you, and when they do, you might be surprised just how swiftly they are resolved, sometimes with only a small amount of effort on your part. This is the benefit of allowing divine forces greater than us individually to nourish and support us. We allow the loving power much greater than our individual consciousness to do the heavy lifting, and our soul path unfolds more joyfully and more quickly. It is a doing without doing. You are at a point on your path where you need support to rise up and break through. You are invited to drink from the Emerald Fountain, to accept the love pouring endlessly from the heart chakra of the Divine Mother, as it would greatly benefit you, even in ways that are not as yet part of your conscious awareness. May your spiritual thirst be sated, and may you be supported and assisted by the Mother Divine. and to invite awareness into your body. You might take another deep breath in here and exhale out. Gently wiggling your fingers, your toes, maybe circling around your ankles and your wrists. You might hug the knees into the chest if that feels good, or simply bend the knees, maybe gently rocking from side to side, maybe turning your head from side to side or tilting your head up and down. Gently rocking all the way to the right side, resting in a fetal position with the head supported by the hands. Pausing here as you take another deep breath in and exhale out. Using your top hand to very gently press yourself up, coming back into that easy seated posture we were in at the very beginning of our time together. So sitting with legs crossed on knees, legs straight in front, and if you are just in a bliss lying on your mat, then stay right there. Resting hand on heart, belly, thighs, womb space, whatever speaks to you. Just taking this moment to reflect on this practice today, honoring yourself for making this time for yourself. And listening to your intuition, right? So I really felt this calling to pull this other card, and my goodness, the synchronicity, right? The first card, High Priestess, reminding us of our power. The last card, Divine Mother, reminding us that the divine is always here to support us. So move in your power, trust your intuition, and know that you are always, always, always divinely supported and divinely where you need to be. Taking this moment to say to yourself or out loud, thank you. I love you. I trust you. I forgive you. And together, let's take one more full deep breath in. Exhale all of the air out. May we all be happy. May we all be free. May we all be peaceful, easeful, useful, and joyful. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. And namaste. I'm sorry, I got so emotional right towards the end. I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm grateful for this community. And I'm just grateful for all of you. Those words were a little powerful for me too, because it's been a little bit of a rough go, but I'm so thankful to still be here and to have this gift that has supported me, that supports you, and to just have this beautiful community to share it with. So from the heart, right? So thank you, thank you, thank you.